Welcome to Fashionably Broke.
I'm kidding, don't use that.
Just wear whatever the hell you
Like,
want.
literally just...
We're living on a McDonald's budget.
Just because you're broke doesn't mean you have to dress like it.
Hello, and welcome to another episode of Blue's Clues. I'm just kidding, you guys. If you are watching on YouTube, you will see why I just made that reference, because I am currently wearing a little like rugby jersey from Loft, and it looks identical to that of the main character of Blue's Clues, other than Blue's Clues, the dog, like the person. I think his name is Steve. I don't really know, but also when I was looking up that reference, I'm not even going to lie, I didn't realize Blue's Clues played on Nickelodeon, which, like, I don't know, like, what's so shocking about that, but I feel like when you're younger, you're either, like, a Disney kid or a Nickelodeon kid, and I'm not going to lie, I was, like, more of a Disney kid. I did watch Nickelodeon. I also know that some people, like, their parents won't let them watch Nickelodeon, which is, like, kind of crazy. I mean, I guess I get it, but anywho, I was just very shocked that it was on Nickelodeon and not, like, I don't know, PBS or something. I feel like that's more that vibe. But anywho, welcome back to another episode of Fashionably Broke Podcast with your host, me, Maddy Schweppy. Wow, it's so good to talk to you guys today. We are back with another solo episode, which I really hope you guys are enjoying the happy hour episodes. I do have two really exciting guests lined up for the future, but I also am like, should I start bringing on like a regular guest? Hint, hint, aka maybe Marley, because I just feel like, I mean, obviously she's my friend, but like she was cut out for this 100%. I just feel like our banter back and forth was so good. So I don't know, like let me know in the comments, DM me, shoot me a message, because like if you want to start having like at least a monthly reoccurring guest, like I feel like it could be really fun. That way too, y'all aren't just bored to death listening to me. I'm just kidding. If you were, you wouldn't listen to this podcast. But I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. I fully recorded this episode yesterday. And I say this episode, it really was nothing that this episode's going to be. But I'm not going to lie. Since doing this solo, the thing is I have to prepare what I'm going to talk about, because I'm not just having a conversation with someone. I'm basically having a conversation with myself, but you guys are just listening at home. And I'm sorry, your girl just totally did not prepare. And I freaked out a little bit, like in the middle of the episode. And I was kind of like, okay, well, Maddy, this is what you get for not coming prepared. Like you should be. Like, why are you showing up to your job unprepared? So don't worry, guys. I took the evening and the day today to fully prepare an episode for you guys, which honestly, I'm so glad that I freaking did, because I feel like so much news dropped today in like the pop culture world. And like now I get to talk about it. So I'm so freaking excited about that. But first things first, I think that we should do just a little recap of St. Patrick's Day weekend, which also this episode comes out the day after St. Patrick's Day. So happy very late St. Patrick's Day to you all. If you don't know, which y'all probably all do, because I feel like I say this every single year, St. Patrick's Day is my second favorite holiday, of course, after Thanksgiving. And a lot of people say, why, Maddy? Why is St. Patrick's Day your favorite holiday or your second favorite holiday? And here's why. Okay, I appreciate the holidays that no one really cares about. And like, obviously, I know there's so much meaning to St. Patrick's Day and everything that it stands for, and to, you know, obviously Ireland as a whole. But I feel like a lot of people here in the United States just obviously use it as a day of drinking, which, yes, of course, I also utilize it for that as well, because duh. But I just like, I don't know, I just like it. Like, I think, again, it's just a holiday where there is no pressure, and like the whole point is just to have fun, hang out with friends, and like be merry, be jolly, and of course get drunk. And then two, also green is my favorite color and has been since I was a wee child. And you know, if a whole day that you just have to wear green, like, yes, please, I'll take it. So yeah, that's my little story behind St. Patrick's Day. But obviously this weekend was St. Patrick's Day weekend. Unfortunately, I did not get to celebrate St. Patrick's Day in true St. Patrick's Day weekend fashion. But fortunately, I did have a super fun engagement party for some of my really, really, really good friends, Kate and Tim. They threw a Denim and Diamonds engagement party. And when I tell you, I was fully stressed out, thinking of an outfit, just trying to figure out what the actual hell I was going to wear. When the idea hit me, I'm going to make something. And honestly, it's been a really long time since I've made something, obviously not fully from scratch, but since I created something from my own imagination when it comes to clothing. And oh my God, the amount of joy and happiness and just fulfillment, if that makes sense, that making this shirt brought me for this engagement party was just so insane. And it honestly made me be okay, wow, I need to absolutely do this more often. But I made my own little denim diamond top. And I do have to say, I know the party was not about me at all. Obviously, it was an engagement party for Kate and Tim, but I feel like the shirt, the whole outfit was a big hit. And honestly, I'm sorry. I live for that shit. Yes. Thank you. You love my outfit? Perfect. Let me tell you where you can get everything or how I made it. Yes, I live for that shit. I eat that shit up. Num, 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 num. But no, it truly was such a freaking fun party. We literally partied from 2 p.m. to 2 a.m. Honestly, we really started at 1. So 1 p.m. to 2 a.m. nonstop. A freaking blast. And it was really good to just honestly get a bunch of people together, people that I didn't know, people that I got to know, and just had a great grand old ball. Except, y'all want to hear some tea about this weekend? Okay. I don't really know if I'm allowed to say this, but also I don't know the people who it's about, so I guess it really doesn't freaking matter. But y'all, here's the tea. Someone got arrested. Yeah. Okay, so basically from everything that I have gathered in my investigative purposes for figuring out what the hell happened. That's not how you word it, but basically from my detective skills. It was a friend of a friend, but not even really a friend of, it was a coworker of a friend who came to the party halfway through. I feel like after a certain point, a lot of the times, especially with the Darty, it's kind of just open invite. We got all of the formal festivities and activities and social aspect done and out of the way. So then it's once a certain time hits, it's kind of free for all into the night. Well, this coworker of a friend came to the party, and first things first, we clocked him immediately because this man had a giant pimple patch on his neck, and everyone was freaking out about it because it was ready to be taken off. If you get what I'm saying, if you are familiar in the pimple patch world, yeah, it was long overdue to be peeled off the neck. So everyone kind of was already well aware that this man was at the party. And we ended up ending the night in Printer's Alley, which if you don't know Nashville, Printer's Alley is almost the local version of a tiny little bitty Broadway. It's downtown. It's literally just a few blocks from Broadway, but there's just some cooler, not cooler, but there's just some unique bars. And so we ended the night at Miss Kelly's, which is a karaoke bar. It's underground. It's pretty cool. Well, next thing we know, it's almost 2 a.m. and my friend gets a message to be oh my God, the guy that was wearing the pimple patch, Mr. Pimple Patch, is being arrested outside. And she's I don't know what to do, but obviously I don't even know who he is. No one knew his name. We literally kept calling him Mr. Pimple Patch all freaking night long because we don't know who the hell this man is. But yeah, he got arrested. And then from what I heard, he got released on Sunday, and he was charged with public intoxication, so a PI. And all I have to say was, I bet you Monday was a freaking experience. I mean, his coworker that knew him, that invited, it's hey, I know exactly what you did this weekend. And it wasn't good. It was not good. So yeah, no, I can't even imagine like what Monday was like, showing up to work knowing your freaking coworker was arrested at a party that like you invited him to. And I'm not starting any shade, no tea, maybe a little tea, but no shade, for sure, no shade. I hope I'm allowed to talk about the story. Again, I don't know who he was. I don't know who the friend of him was either, but I just like, if like that doesn't kind of like tell you exactly what Saturday was like, then like I don't know what does. And so then Sunday, I obviously spent the whole day rotting away, ate some good old Waffle House because duh, and then literally just like I laid my life away in bed. But I did start Love Story. And I've been thinking about it. So obviously, you know, I love to talk about my TV shows on this pod. But my plan with Love Story, which is, if you don't know what it is, it's the Carolyn Bessette and JFK love story on Hulu. Yeah, on Hulu, I think. Anywho, I think that I'm going to watch the entire season through and then have a full-on dissection of the show on the podcast. I feel like that just sounds really good because like I'm taking notes. Like I'm writing things down. I'm writing my thoughts down. I feel like there is obviously so much talk about CBK and like her style and her fashion. And I do have some input and like things that I want to talk about in regards to that. But I truly do want to just like wait until I finish the entire series. And then we can literally sit down and dissect the entire show. But speaking of shows, you guys, oh my God, y'all are literally probably going to make fun of me, but it might be well-deserved, but like you have to hear me out on this. So one night I was laying in bed and my boyfriend had started a TV show because he likes to fall asleep to TV, this, that, and the other. And normally I'm like, oh, this shit sucks. Like, hurry up, fall asleep so I can just turn it off. Well, he had started the dinosaur. I don't even know what it's called. I probably should look it up before I start speaking on this. But it's the dinosaur documentary on Netflix, narrated by Morgan Freeman. And it's directed by, like, Spielberg, I'm pretty sure. And you guys, okay, it's so good. Like, I'm not joking with it. Is so good. And I'm not like a dinosaur lover like that. Like, I couldn't care less. Like, obviously dinosaurs like existed, right? I mean, like we have fossils. Like, they had to have existed. I'm not saying like I'm not going into that conspiracy, but like you guys, the show is really freaking good. Like, it's really good. It's kind of interesting. And honestly, it makes you be like, holy shit, and like put time and everything. Honestly, I say put time into perspective, but like it is quite literally impossible to be putting time into perspective because like it spans millions and millions and millions and millions and millions of years. And I'm just like, I don't even know. Like, I can't even fathom that, if that makes sense. Like, it literally starts from like the first ever species that was on the planet. And like my mind is just so blown. Like, it was literally like a lot of millions of years ago. Obviously I haven't paid that much attention to it. Sorry, but like you do learn a lot. And it's kind of fire. Like, there's a lot of tea. There's a lot of drama that happens in this documentary with Morgan Freeman narrating. Let me look up the name of the title. Dinosaur. How do you spell dinosaur? I found it. Oh my God, Dinosaurs Netflix. Okay, it's literally just called The Dinosaurs. It's a new 4-episode Netflix documentary series that was released on March 6th. It was produced by Steven Spielberg and narrated by Morgan Freeman. And you guys, I can't say it enough. It was good. So if you're just like looking for something, honestly, and okay, I feel like it might be a very niche audience, but like, honestly, if you're just looking for shit to put on the TV, I would put it on. the visuals are really cool. And you might learn something like in the background. So if you just need like some background noise, I highly suggest. Um, but yeah, I honestly was truly shocked that I was like, wait, that shit's pretty good. Okay, you guys, y'all are gonna hate me this episode. Literally, I can already tell. I already know. I don't know what it is. My ADHD has been absolutely just like off its rocker and has been so bad. Like my medicine not helping one single freaking bit at all. But I wanted to talk about what I did last Friday. It was my boyfriend's birthday like all last week, and so of course we celebrated on his actual birthday. We went to dinner. But then on Friday, I took him to the LSU Vanderbilt baseball game. And it was super fun, super cold, and LSU lost. But that's pretty much it for my weekend recap. I feel like nowadays my hangovers just like literally last. Honestly, no. I don't even think they go away. Like I truly sometimes feel like I'm just going through like an all day, every day hangover, even when I don't drink. Like I think I just like fully exist in a continuous hangover, which you're probably like, well, Maddy, that's called alcoholism. No, I don't drink every day. But like sometimes I just always feel hungover, and there's that. Like my voice isn't like fully back. Like I'm exhausted. But we also did a week prior have daylight savings, which okay, it sucks in the moment, daylight savings, when it goes from fall to spring, or like winter to spring, not fall. Hello? When it goes from winter to spring, because like obviously you lose an hour. Like the best daylight savings is when you go from summer to fall, because like you gain an hour, which is pretty nice. But I do love when the time changes to the springtime, because obviously like the sun stays out longer. Like, or I say longer, it just like it's sunny longer into the evening. In the morning, it's not like super bright and like the sun isn't fully out, because I get like so freaked out when it's like super bright and sunny, but it's literally only like 5:30 in the morning. I'm like, oh my God, I overslept. When like I'd rather it stay like darker for a lot longer in the morning so that I just don't feel like rushed and stressed. Maybe that's just me, but I like when the time changes in the springtime. It just feels like summer's coming, like we all get super excited and that happy times are approaching. Let me take a wine break. As I literally just said, I don't drink every single freaking day. Oh my God. Tuesday, honestly, when I record the podcast, it's different. Like I said, I recorded the full episode, not even a full episode, I guess, but I recorded yesterday, and I just like literally sat back and I was like, I didn't even talk about what I really wanted to talk about. And like today I just needed some like courage, you know? But anywhoozle. Okay, so moving on. Today, this is crazy, which again, I'm so glad I kind of pushed my episode recording. Alex Earl is getting closer and closer to announcing what the hell she's been working on. Obviously, we all know, everyone has all of the predictions that it is going to be a skincare line, maybe like a makeup line, but everyone is fully leaning towards a skincare line. So she created a new profile called WTF is Alex Earl doing, I think. Let me double check that. Okay, sorry. My apologies. It is WTF is Alex doing. Okay, then her sister Ashton posted a TikTok basically saying like, Alex, what are you doing here? Of a billboard in New York, and I'm going to read it. I have it pulled up. It says, we're about to bare it all. A big secret is breaking out, one puzzle piece at a time. The puzzle piece confuses me. Unless it has like something to do with the name, but like bare skin and breaking out and pimples. So 100% confirmed that it pretty much is going to be a skincare line or like some sort of like skin. I don't know. She said that she was wearing it on the Vanity Fair carpet, which do not worry, guys. We will be talking about. Don't worry. And so I'm like, okay, skincare, lotion, like some sort of like beauty product line. I mean, like for sure, no doubt. It like has to be. And so like I'm super excited and very intrigued to just like see what it's about, see what she releases, and if it is skincare, just like the science that has gone into it, just because like I feel like when it comes to skincare, you just like you literally can't use what's like trending, what's popular, because like you truly have to find exactly what fits your skin and like your skin needs, because everyone is different, and some people are just really lucky and they can use different face wash or just different skincare and it does nothing. But like people like me, unfortunately, I can't, because if I do, my skin will be an absolute disaster for months and months and months. But again, I'm really, really, really intrigued to see what she's releasing, when she releases it. So I know everyone is like literally on the edge of their seat. But also, speaking of new brands that have caught my eye, we all know I am a self-tanning bitch. I love me a self-tanning mousse. I honestly would rather, actually, I don't even want to say that. Up until one of my really good friends, Caroline, who is the proud owner of UV Zero Tan, gave me a spray tan for this past weekend. But back to self tanning, because yes, like I will still always self tan, even to go get spray tans, I will still self tan. This brand really, really caught my eye. It was a young girl that was posting TikToks, and she is coming out with a spray tan or like a tanning mousse, and it's called Long Weekend. So I like went ahead and I followed her on literally everything, because I'm just like very intrigued. The marketing looks absolutely fantastic, and just like what she has in mind, so I'm keeping tabs on that. So this is breaking news, guys. Breaking news, a very small business. I literally have her Instagram pulled up. She only has 71 followers, and I am one of them. So I'm very intrigued, and I'll keep you guys up to date on that. But speaking of Alex Earl, we have to talk all about the Oscars. Yes, one day I'll win an Oscar for Best Podcast. I'm just kidding. That literally does not exist. But the Oscars were this Sunday, and to no one's surprise, I did not watch. But of course, I did catch up on everything on social media. And also, another reason why I didn't watch the Oscars was because I didn't watch any of the Oscar nominated movies other than Sinners, which such a good movie if you haven't seen it. Yes, it is about vampires, but like it is the acting's goddamn impeccable, which of course Michael B. Jordan won a fucking Oscar for. So like hell yeah. Hell yeah. But that was the only show or the only movie that I watched that was an Oscar nominee. So I was like, meh, I don't really have a dog in this fight. So like it is what it is. But post Oscars, there is one movie that I really, really, really want to watch, because I was watching interviews and clips of it on TikTok this morning as I was getting ready. Just watching the TikTok brought me to tears. And yes, I'm an emotional lady. And I mean, yes, is it my time of the month? Absolutely. But like it really brought me to tears and like invoked so much emotion just from a simple TikTok video of them talking about the movie, a clip of the movie. Like it seemed so good. Shut up, Maddy. What movie are you talking about? Hamnet, which is, I was like, I've heard Hamnet over and over and over, and I've seen it on the streaming platforms, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell this is. It's about William Shakespeare and like how he basically became to be William Shakespeare and wrote his play that changed him and his family's life, Hamlet. And it's about his goddamn son. It's about his son dying and basically what him and his wife and what they went through during that time. And he just literally changed the name from Hamnet to Hamlet. Anywho, I mean, obviously it won a shit ton of awards. And I can see why just by the TikToks that I watched. Literally just by those short little social media clips. It brought me so much emotion. So I absolutely will be watching Hamnet because like I'm really, really, really intrigued. So yeah, that is on my list. But of course, babes, I'm going to talk about the fashion. I really didn't do as much research probably as I should have when it comes to all of the red carpet looks. So we're just going to go off of vibes and just like truly what I remember, what really stood out to me. Because I feel like when it comes to the Oscars are very elegant. They're very, very formal. People aren't experimenting with their Oscars looks as much as, let's say, the Grammys. But the one thing about that is they have their world famous after party, Vanity Fair, and that is when they do get silly with it. So starting off, first thing is first, I want to talk about Kylie Jenner and Timothée Chalamet. So obviously, there has been a lot of chatter about Timothée Chalamet and him basically shitting on the opera and the ballet, just saying basically like no one cares about it anymore. And you know, that's a whole other conversation and discussion, okay? But he wore an all white suit, which like, meh, okay. He kind of looked a little homely. I don't really know. Like his hair was super long. He had a weird mustache. And I don't know, like wasn't super impressed, but I really just mainly want to talk about Kylie Jenner. And here's the thing. I know that when it comes to award shows that Timothée Chalamet has like a movie in, basically has a running in some way, she definitely tones things down because the attention, like it's not about her, it's about him. It's about his accomplishments, his movies. You know, attention should not be on her. But that being said, of course, she showed up in Schiaparelli, which I'm sorry, I love Schiaparelli. Schiaparelli can do no wrong. But we've seen it before. She is very famously known to have a very good relationship with Schiaparelli. But her dress, like I said, we've literally seen it before. She looked stunning, of course. It works for her. It fits her. That's why she goes back to it. And that's why, like, I mean, she just looks so good in it. But again, we've seen it before. I would just wish maybe she would have mixed it up just a tiny bit, but that's okay. She did have two looks. So she had a red look and then a black look. The black look was for the Vanity Fair after party. Again, I mean, it was literally just like a black dress with the cutout. So I can't really like say too much about it. Just like, meh, she looked beautiful, but whatever. But moving on to her sister, Miss Kimberly Kardashian. I'm probably going to get a lot of hate for saying this. But I think that she was truly one of the best dressed at the Vanity Fair after party. And hear me out. Here's why. Okay, the hair, the super messy, frizzy, tousled hair. Yes, please. We love it. I feel like the hair the hair and the makeup fully contrasted with the dress that she was wearing. And it just was like chef's kiss. It was beautiful. It was stunning. Her makeup was super, super smoky, very grungy, very like rock punk. And she was wearing blue contacts, which I feel like that just pushed the look over the edge to perfection, truly. And then she was just wearing this body yaddy gold, skin tight, stunning, beautiful dress. Like literally, it just looked like her body was dripped in gold liquid. Like it was stunning. It was sexy. It was giving exactly what it needed to give. And I know a lot of people probably won't agree with everything that I just said, but I was obsessed with it. It did everything it needed to do. And then moving on to Miss Kendall Jenner. Okay, I like that she went with a color. I like that she went colorful. Obviously, it was a stunning dress. It was a little boring for my taste, which, like, I hate to say it because I really truly did, like, love everything about the look, but I just feel like it wasn't for the Vanity Fair party, if that totally makes sense. Another person that I am also thinking of when I say this, and you have to absolutely hear me out after I say this name, Alex Earl. She looked gorgeous, stunning, beautiful. She wore a red beaded dress that had like pattern. It was beautiful. She did her own makeup and she fucking slayed it. And hear me out. Listen, I know she probably went a little bit more tame, a little bit more safe, just because it is the Vanity Fair party. It's after the Oscars. Like, she is an influencer. And, like, it just wasn't my favorite thing. Like, she looked stunning, gorgeous. I loved it. I loved the dress. But, like, I don't know. I just, like, maybe wanted to see a little bit more. Again, I don't want to take away. Like, two things can be true at the same time. I still loved the look. But maybe for something like the People's Choice Awards. Okay. Who else do we have? We have Bella Hadid. Her after party look. Oh, my God. Stunning. I feel like we saw a lot of two pieces on the Vanity Fair carpet, which I am so here for. I love it. I feel like it's a fun, unique, interesting take. But Bella Hadid, she looked absolutely stunning. My hands down favorite Vanity Fair carpet look was Odessa. I don't know her last name. She was in Marty Supreme. I'm pretty sure she played Timothy Chalamet's love interest. Her look for the Vanity Fair party actually made me speechless. It was so unique. It was so cool. So cool. And come to find out, she styles herself and does her own hair and makeup for every single event she goes to. And on the carpet at the Oscars, she wore Valentino. I feel like it was very much like her vibe. I think she looked really, really good. A lot of people said that it just like wasn't doing anything for them. But I mean, I think that she still looked really, really good. But speaking of Valentino, you know who else wore Valentino? Anne Hathaway. Her dress wasn't necessarily like my super favorite, but her hair and face were fucking slaying. She looked, I don't know what she's done. She looked so good. But also, not only did she look good, can we take a moment to talk about her introducing an award with the Anna Wintour? And the bit of Anna Wintour calling Anne Hathaway Emily was iconic. Like, honestly, I didn't even have to watch the Oscars because that moment takes the Oscar. I was screaming the moment I saw that. Like, I'm obsessed with it, and I just kept replaying it. It was truly iconic, and I mean, like, I truly don't think that the Oscars can ever top that moment. Ever. Truly. Took the cake, took the Oscar. Okay, but do you know another person that also was wearing Valentino was Emma Chamberlain at the Vanity Fair party, and she looked sick. Like, I mean, of course, Emma, we know that she's always going to show up in an outfit, whether you love it or you hate it. And I loved it. She was wearing like this super slouchy, like basically slip silk tank top with these super high leather gloves and this stunning, gorgeous beaded skirt to the floor. I mean, she just looked effortless. She looked chic. She looked cool. Like, she had it going on. I absolutely loved everything that she wore. She's just a cool girl in fashion, and we love to see that. Not speaking of, you know who came back for their redemption? Emma Stone. I absolutely loved the white little cap sleeve, beautiful dress that she wore to the Oscars. Her hair, her makeup, it was all doing it for me, which was 100% a redemption from that purple number from like, I don't even know what it was, the People's Choice or the Golden Globes or something like that. Not the Golden Globes, because her outfit fucking slayed for that too. Maybe, I don't remember exactly what award show it was. Oh, the SAG Awards, I think. Yeah, the SAG Awards. She redeemed herself fully. I was obsessed. Who else do we have to talk about that I can remember? Oh, Demi Moore. I was not the biggest fan of her Oscars look. To me, she looked like a villain in a Disney movie. I think her dress was by Balenciaga, or I don't remember. Dior? No, I don't think it was Dior. No, it actually might have been Dior. I don't know. She just was giving villain. And I don't know. That's just like, I don't know. Like, I get it. I get the look. It was a beautiful dress, but like, I don't know. She just kind of looked like a villain. I think it was the color that really threw me off. And I just like wasn't there for it. Oh my God. And then, hello? One of the most important things that happened on the carpet was Sarah Pigeon. I think her name's Sarah Pigeon, who plays CBK in Love Story. She was wearing Calvin Klein, which, like, yes, of course, Calvin, jump on this train, ride it so hard and so like nonchalantly. Like, yes, I love it. It's giving, other than the fact I hated the dress on her. It's not her. She was literally perfect. She could wear a paper sack. 100%. The dress just was not the most flattering on her, and I'm like really sad that that's what they went with. That's really all I have to say. She looked stunning, but like I don't know, I just like wish I would have seen her in a different Calvin Klein dress, if we're being honest. There were so many people that I could talk about, but I really truly want to talk about the tea that happened after the Vanity Fair party, where Alex Earl was spotted leaving with Stassi, and I don't know her last name, but you know, Stassi baby, Kylie Jenner's like best friend, with Joe Burrow. What? Oh my God, I can't even imagine what Braxton Berrios is thinking in his head, but like my man, Joe Burrow, I just like, I can't, like, that's some tea. That is some tea, because she also posted that she didn't get back home until 7 a.m. the next day. TTT. I just like literally would have died to be a fly on that wall. I think they also went out with like Tate McRae and Jake Shane, which, speaking of Jake Shane, our Jakey hosted the Vanity Fair carpet. He conducted interviews with, I think her name's like Quinn and then Brittany. And there is a lot of backlash about this specific set of influencers hosting the carpet. But here's the thing. I'm going to disagree with absolutely everyone. Number one, the Vanity Fair party is an after party. It's not the Oscars. Leave the Oscars to the journalists, okay? Hell yeah, get some people that are super interesting to host the carpet at Vanity Fair. It's the after party. It's where the fun's happening. It is literally just a giant party to celebrate the Oscars. So yeah, get the fun people to host it. And I loved the energy. Like, they were literally just like being themselves. They were chatting. Like, yes, could they have done maybe a little bit more research when it came to questions? Yes, of course, absolutely. But like, also that's on their team to have like helped them with that. Okay. All of those questions were approved. So like, all right, cry if you want to. But like, I loved the energy. I loved that they were making it fun. I also just think it's such a good idea to bring in these huge influencers, because that is what is drawing in the younger crowd, the younger generation, the generation that does not watch award shows on a Sunday night. Because, like, I'm sorry, what is there to watch? I feel like Gen Z right now is truly obviously controlling the internet and, what goes viral, what gets blown up, what gets traction. So yeah, utilize that shit. Be smart about it. If you want the younger generation to start watching award shows so they don't go away, bring in a Jake Shane, bring in an Alex Earl, bring in the influencers to keep the motion going. But yeah, no, I really was a huge fan of a lot of the looks. I feel like everything that I saw that was custom Chanel, I was obsessed with, which thank God, because for a minute there, Chanel and red carpets hated each other. There was some bad juju there. Chanel's making a comeback when it comes to dressing celebrities for red carpets, and I am fucking here for it. Thank God. But yeah, I think that wraps up my entire thoughts. And then there's just like a couple other things that I want to talk about. Speaking of fashion, John Galliano returns to fashion as a creative partner at Zara, which I think is so cool and so insane. If you don't know who he was a British designer, and he's been kind of outside of the fashion industry for quite a bit. So super intrigued and excited to see like what comes of it, what happens, and like if this kind of takes Zara in a new direction, if they're going to start doing luxury items. So I'm very intrigued about that. Another thing, our queens, Paige and Hannah, they won Podcast of the Year at the iHeart Media Awards in Austin, I think, at South by Southwest. And yes, of course, like, I'm not shocked. Of course they won. Because hell yeah. And I think that's the end of today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it, and I'm so very sorry if I was absolutely all over the place, because you know what? It happens. But if you enjoyed today's episode and you were watching on YouTube, please like, subscribe. And if you were listening on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, make sure you hit that follow, download, and if you're feeling fancy, give a rating. You can find me on all platforms at Maddy Schweppy. Feel free to follow along. And if you, again, just enjoyed today's episode or the episodes before and are just like really excited to listen along, make sure to check out Fashionably Broke Podcast on all platforms. Well, I love you guys. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next week. Bye.